Welcome back to the SML Podcast. My name is Richard Little, which you can call me Dick. I'm also Field Joe 007, the owner of the SML Seattle Seahawks. I'm here live with Colts owner Primetime 000. Prime, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
We're doing well. Let's go ahead and bring up this undefeated talk again.
Yes.
Within the SML, a few teams have dropped. A few nails have been driven into the ground. First of all three teams, there's three teams left.
Okay.
All three teams are in the NFC.
NFC, very competitive this year.
You've got the Panthers, but Jonesy's Panthers are 8-0.
That's
Halfway through the season, not one loss. And I'm pretty sure, we could probably look back and find out when the last time he lost the game was.
Yeah.
Because he was 15-1 last season.
I think he lost to the Eagles guy. We kicked him. So.
And it's been such a long time since he lost. He won the Super Bowl. And then I'm 7-0, and the Giants are 6-0.
Wow.
And there's actually a big matchup coming up, I believe, after this advance. The undefeated Panthers versus the undefeated Giants.
Ooh, I like that matchup.
Who are you taking there?
I don't know. Jonesy beat me in the Super Bowl. He's right now he's the best in the SML, and you gotta respect the Super Bowl champions. I think just because he won the Super Bowl, so you gotta respect that.
Yeah, that's true. From what I've seen and what I remember playing the Giants, he's a good sim player, and you can't ever deny in a sim ball game anyone.
And I've never played the Giants, I don't think, so I wouldn't know I can't give a fair assessment because I've never played them, so I don't know.
Right. That you're right. Well, I guess we're going to take the Panthers in that game, but realistically, it just seems like the Panthers are probably going to go 16-0
They have
this
a good
year.
chance. They're a good team.
And if you look at the playoff picture within the SML right now, the NFC South is led by the Panthers, NFC West by the Seahawks, NFC East, the Giants, the NFC North, the Bears. That Bears owner,
he's a good
he's
guy.
nothing to laugh about, man. 5-2, it's a good, respectable record. And then the wild card, you're looking at the Cowboys at 5-2, and probably the Vikings at 5-2.
Wow, terrible two-step, great player. How's the AFC looking?
The AFC, you've got two teams with one loss. You got the Bills. Well, actually, I think the Bills just dropped another one, so I think they're actually 7-2 right now. Okay. You got the Colts. You've got at 6-1. You got the Steelers 5-3. You got the Chargers 6-2.
D-Rock, good player.
Ravens 4-2. Browns 4-3. Patriots 5-3. Wow. The Jets 4-3. So anything could still happen.
I would say the Jets are a team to look out for. New England, of course. FHPT, I don't really know his username.
Yeah.
Great player. And who I like Ravens guy. Ravens guy is good.
Yeah, he's not bad. And then, of course, I got pulled for Bo Matty. He was one of the original pillars of
Yep.
the SML. And he's actually done a lot better this Madden cycle opposed to last.
Yeah. And another guy, low-key, who usually gets hot late season is Bino the Barber.
Yeah, where are the Chiefs at on this? They're not even on the list right now.
Oh.
So, wow. The Chargers have really come in and kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't really see that coming. If you look at something that was interesting is look at the stats for the passing leaders. Cam Newton has 24 touchdowns already.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
Andrew Luck, 21. There's a lot of balls being thrown out there right now. And then if you look at the Panthers running game, I don't even know if you want to know this about this guy.
I know he's got the number one running game as well.
It's 128 carries, 777 yards, 6.1 yards a total.
Yeah, when you have
14 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, when you have the number one passing and rushing game,
it's crazy.
You're probably going to.
And I'm pretty sure this is his guy, if I'm not mistaken, Demary Bird.
Yeah, that's his receiver. Yeah,
46 catches, 866 yards, 18.8 yards catch for 13 touchdowns. And then, of course, you look at your boy, T.Y. Hilton, 31 catches, 756, averaging 24 yards a clip. So, obviously, your offense is a little bit more bang or bust.
Yeah.
Not quite the consistency.
Well, without Nate Finley, it's just hard to run the ball. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens later in the season. I know Jonesy, obviously, he's one of the better players. I had a lot of good stats last year, and you've seen what happened.
Right.
So, playoffs are just a different demon,
So our midseason MVP probably has to be Jonesy and the Panthers.
by far, yes.
Well, I don't really know I don't really know where this is going to head, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what teams actually secure the spots, for those other divisions like the AFC East, AFC North.
Yeah, who else do we got? Who's the NFC North? You said Vikings are leading?
The Vikings-Bears are right there, 5-2.
Yeah,
so, anything can happen in those divisions.
Yeah.
Really there's not much to talk about since the last podcast between the NFL. I think it was just a few days ago. It hasn't happened yet. The playoffs start this weekend.
Saturday or Sunday.
So, we'll probably have more on that the next podcast. But it'll be kind of interesting, though, to see who starts to beat who.
Yeah, I think
out there.
I think who are the wild card matchups? I know Pittsburgh's playing like Miami, stuff like that.
Well, you got Oakland and Houston.
Yeah, that one's going to be boring because whoever wins that game's going to get bounced next round.
You got Miami and Pittsburgh.
That's the Pittsburgh win.
You got New York Giants and Green Bay.
Ooh, that could go.
Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and start this. So we're saying that, and you were picking Houston over.
Yeah, I think
Oakland.
Just because Brock Osweiler is a little bit better than that third string quarterback, and you got to go with the defense and running game, and I think Houston's got a better running game and defense over Oakland.
I think Oakland's had the Cinderella season this year. It had Carbon in that would have been a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But I think they will get one playoff win. I think the Raiders will go on to the
next
round.
I like Oakland. They have a bright future for sure.
And then you're picking Pittsburgh over Miami. I think I'm going to go with that as well. We got Green Bay versus the Giants.
That's in Lambeau.
Yeah. I'm going with the Packers. Yeah. The Packers been on a roll.
Yeah, you got to go Green Bay.
We got Seahawks and Detroit.
That's Seattle.
I'm going Seattle. You got New England. Well, that's the divisional round. Those four games are. They could go either way, especially between Green Bay and the Giants.
Yeah,
so
Green Bay Giants, and also the Green Bay Giants game and the Texans Raiders are really the ones that.
But as you said, that Raiders Texas game is kind of irrelevant because they're gonna get back. That's what sucks about the Colts not winning the division.
Yeah.
Because that way, that AFC South really doesn't mean anything.
Really, the AFC this year. The quarterbacks in the AFC are Alex Smith, Brock Osweiler, Connor Cook, Tom Brady, Big Ben, and Ryan Tannehill, or if he's even playing. So really, you only got Brady and Ben of good quarterback play in the AFC. So it's definitely a weak year for the AFC, I would say.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I listen to a little bit of rock, classic rock, AC/DC, and then I don't listen to a lot of rap, but when I do, I like Wayne, and that's about it. Just a lot of early 2000s Lil Wayne.
Would you ever go to a Lil Wayne concert?
Yeah, if the price is right. I don't know if he's going to be doing a lot of big touring, but I went to AC/DC concert a year or two ago. Good to see them live. What about yourself?
Well, I listen to everything, mostly country. I've been to probably 13 or 15 concerts over the last 2 years, so I've had my fair share of concert fun, but your AC/DC concert was at Wrigley.
Yeah, Wrigley Field.
I know it's probably a neat atmosphere. Do you wish that it was more of a smaller venue concert, or do you just think either way it'd have been the same?
It was pretty cool. It'd have been cool to be right up there, but you couldn't hear yourself talk right afterward. Big stadium, kind of used to it going to football games, so it's kind of all I know, so I guess it didn't really have an impact on the experience.
How many concerts have you been to?
Oh, that was my only one.
That's the only concert you've ever been to?
Yeah.
See, that's the difference between a concert, is because I remember my very first concert was at a fair, and I was in what they call track seating, so they're the chairs. So you got pit, you got track, and then you got grandstand. The grandstand's the free bleachers in the back. The track seating's a set of chairs, and then the pit is supposed to be, that's a topic for another video, a small area for people up front.
Yeah, they have that at the AC/DC as well.
Right. Every concert has a pit area. But we were in the track, my first concert, and then after that I've only been pit. And pretty much what they said, you can go to a concert. Once you've gone pit, you can't go to a concert.
Really?
Different again. It's just a lot cooler experience being, like you said, being that close to them. And
yeah. It's probably just like anything else, you kind of get what you pay for. The closer you are, probably the better experience. I think we won tickets to the Colts-Bears game this year.
Yeah.
It's cool to go no matter where you are, but
closer
if you have the opportunity to be closer,
you get more involved in the experience,
Yeah, you're right there. You can almost hear the guys hit each other, which is.
Where's your flag football team going right now? What's going on with the flag football?
Oh, we're in the process of building a new offensive line. We got that Indianapolis Colt, Cleveland Brown offensive line. So we're not going anywhere anytime soon, really.
I mean, do you have another game coming up? I haven't even heard you complain about anything.
We stopped it because we sucked. Our line just isn't any good, so we got to pick up some new guys. If any of you guys live in northern Indiana, hit me up.
But don't you have money invested in this already?
No, it was like $20. It's like $100 a person, but we stopped before the money was due. But a lot of talented guys. Supposedly one of the guys played on the Dolphins. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right. So now you're just kind of in limbo.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So what do you think? Is it going to be picked back up, or do you think you're done?
I think it's going to be picked back up. We're waiting to the summer season because with the snow in Indiana, it's just hard to practice. You can't get a good team together. I don't know how the other guys do it. It must just not practice. I don't know. Or they're just experienced, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, I guess my last question for you is, what kind of car do you drive?
I drive a Camaro, Chevy Camaro.
All right. What's your dream car? No, I
don't know. Realistically, or just like dream?
Realistically.
Like
if you were a couple years older and you were making or working full time and making a decent salary, what would you go out and buy?
I'd probably buy. I don't know. So I kind of want an electric car a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah, I like the Teslas. I know those are really expensive, but I like the Teslas.
Wow.
I think those are cool.
Wow.
What about you?
I mean, honestly, I would go out and buy a like right now one of the 2017 SS Camaros, or I would take my Camaro, which is a V6, and do all the bolt-on V6 mods because like a V6 has roughly 300 horsepower, and V8 has roughly 400 horsepower. So I'd like to get it to that V8 standpoint, but be a V6, and so you have less weight.
Yeah.
So you'd actually probably be a little bit faster and kind of just be a sleeper V6. People wouldn't expect that.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be fun.
It's cool. I like the new Corvettes as well, but that's runs you 70,000 or something, which that's like a house,
So are you still sticking with? I guess this will be the last question. Now, you still sticking with your prediction of Falcons as the Super Bowl in the NFL? Real life Falcons win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess so. It's tough to go against the Patriots, but I'm gonna just be kinky and say the Falcons. What about you?
I'm still saying it's going to be a Patriots-Cowboys Super Bowl, and I go back and forth every day between the Cowboys and the Patriots.
It's just hard to go against the Patriots.
But I think if a team could do it, it would definitely be the Cowboys with the talent they have on that team.
The thing about Dallas and New England is, although I don't think Dallas is going to win it, and they've had about the same strength of schedule as New England. They really haven't played anybody good this year, but they're doing it in the same fashion New England is. Well, not really. But they've been consistent this year. They've been kind of just putting the same product on the field, whereas someone like Pittsburgh's been, they beat some solid teams and they've lost to some stinker. They lost to Miami, and it's like, usually, with New England, you're going to get the same thing every week, that the same product. And I think Dallas and New England have been by far the most consistent. But now it's just who's the most hot at the right time.
Yeah, and in my opinion, Dallas has been hot pretty much all year long. And like you said, you brought that Pittsburgh win. I mean, if you watch that game, that was probably the most incredible finish to a football game I've seen in a very long time. But yeah, like you said, that could be anyone's.
The only thing I would be worried about if I was a Dallas fan is that whole if that Russ thing's true, Dak wouldn't have played a meaningful game in like 3 weeks, or the other players. And I know as a Colts fan, people point to that as maybe some playoff losses as resting your starters. So I guess that'll be an interesting thing to see.
Do you believe that? Do you believe in the playoff rust?
Yeah, I don't know if it's rusty or if it's just not in the rhythm of things, and it can kind of mess with your mind. But I don't know.
I know Peyton was never a fan of taking off reps. He obviously believed in it. So I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, because I'm pretty sure the year they won the Super Bowl, Peyton had plenty of rust. I mean, he came back at the end of that Chargers game, after he'd been benched, and he pretty much, he didn't really do a whole
the year
lot
they won
in
the
playoffs
Super Bowl
anyway.
Or you saying, you mean,
that's
the Broncos. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I don't even know if he played that Chargers game. Was that the last game of the season?
That was the last game of the season.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, yeah, that seems like almost rigged, doesn't it?
That's what I was
It's another topic.
That's another topic. But, I mean, it was almost poetic the way that all of a sudden, like the Broncos offense, who start with that New England game where Osweiler throws the bomb.
No, that was impressive.
And they were doing, no one said anything. Osweiler couldn't do no wrong. But then slowly there's those people that want to get Peyton back up. And all of a sudden the Broncos offense couldn't get anything done in that game. Then Peyton comes in. Immediately they go down for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it is a mental thing as well, like the Tebow thing. When you have a guy who
right.
I know Tebow can't get it done really, but
he's a winner. He has the winning,
belief.
the winning spirit.
But the thing, like with Peyton, is although he didn't, throw the 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, which would have been a cool inning.
He still didn't make the bad.
Yeah, he got the ring, and he won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And I mean, you can't complain about winning a Super Bowl in your last game. Go out like John Elway and
Ray Lewis, and
that's a way to call it.
It's only been a handful of guys really that have been able to go out the right way. Not necessarily the right way, but go out the way that you would want.
The dream scenario, yeah.
So your boy Robert Mathis is done.
Yeah, that's the way you don't want to go out.
I mean, he finished though just as a Colt.
Yeah, that's cool.
Played every season that he played professionally with the same team.
Defensive player of the week. Good player. Kind of underrated, under the radar.
Definitely not the same player.
No, you could tell this year he was done.
Just didn't.
He said he wants to come back and coach, maybe be a defensive line coach or.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he wants to be back with the Colts. I read, so that'll be interesting to see. Maybe all those rumors with Peyton becoming a GM or something. You never know.
I mean, you're really not hearing anything about Pagano being fired right now.
I heard that if there's a date, it would be January 12th would be the due date because the national championship is on the 9th. And rumor is that Irsay might be waiting to see what happens with Nick Saban in Alabama.
Oh, yeah, so now they're trying to give Saban another...
Well, if he wins the championship this year, what else would he have to prove? It's like, that's the thought process, but you know how that crap goes.
Well, at the same time, though, if you're making enough money, and he's already had his stint in the NFL with Miami, the year the Colts won the Super Bowl, and that wasn't very successful.
No, he wasn't that good with Miami. So
I mean, it's like, Chip Kelly. You almost had other than without the Super Bowls, you had a tremendous championships. You had a lot of success with the Ducks.
Yeah.
Then you go to the Eagles, and it looked like it was going to start like wildfire. That very first drive with Mike Vick.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I thought for sure, I'm like, oh Jesus, he's going to do it. This is the perfect team, with Mike Vick and all this they're going to do. But then they couldn't keep up the breakneck pace at the NFL with these bigger guys.
Yeah.
They just couldn't do it. Now I didn't understand why they didn't run, the no huddle offense and just keep.
I think another thing was that the players didn't like Chip because he kind of blew up the team a little bit.
Oh yeah, he wanted everything in his image. He doesn't want egotistical players, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a part of that is racism.
But
I don't know.
I don't know. And that's another thing, that's over my head. But I guess the final, because this podcast is probably getting pretty long. I'm not a big fan of Chip, but he had like the least talented roster. Yeah. And then he got fired, and it's like
telling San Fran.
And this was his first season, and then people wonder, why. The Browns,
why these teams are so bad.
Teams suck. You
have that turnover.
You have no roster. You have no quarterback. You have no defense, and then you fire your. What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to make the playoffs with Colin Kaepernick? Half the season and Blaine Gabbert the other half. It's like, what do you expect really? So I don't know. I don't know about all that business.
So I guess the point of this is consistency.
Yeah, continuity.
You got to be consistency. You got to have continuity, and that's what we're trying to get done here in the SML is to get guys consistently play their games.
Killer guys.
So if you're looking for a league right now, we're currently looking for 4 teams. Be sure to go to our website. The website is
simmaddenleague.freeforms.net. We have 4 teams open, which are the Dolphins, Titans, Rams, and 49ers.
At the time of posting.
At the time of this vlog, which is the January 5th. Might be uploaded a little bit later tonight. So, if you know anybody, just send them to the site. Have direct message us on GroupMe, and we'll get your buddy set up as long as he takes the test and passes.
All right, Prime. I think it's about time to wrap it up. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Will do.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit longer than the last couple. I think right now the runtime is roughly 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. This is Dick Little. Be sure to like, subscribe, take care, and have a great day.